How's it going, guys? Welcome back. This is Algebra 1. It'll be the first thing that we do when you guys come back. So now it's going to be virtual learning. However, the first thing today is going to be March 23rd when I assign this. I would like for you to get it done by March 25th, which will be Wednesday. Go ahead and get out that packet that I handed out to you. It'd be nice to follow along with a paper copy. However, if you have to do it on a piece of paper, that is fine as well. So, some key vocabulary terms from this section that we're going to talk about is standard form, parabola, vertex, and axis of symmetry. Standard form looks like this. And we talked about it a little bit before you guys left. The A, the B, and the C will be a constant, aka a number. A parabola is the shape of the graph. If you look at all the graphs below, 1 through 6, you kind of get the general shape. Parabola looks like a U or an N. Those lines do go on forever. The vertex is either the highest or lowest point on the parabola. So some examples in 1 and 2, my vertex is down here. Number 2, my vertex is right here. Number 3, my vertex is right here. And lastly, your axis of symmetry, that's an imaginary line. More specifically, a vertical line through the vertex. So if you look at these problems, kind of erase what I wrote. The axis of symmetry in number 1, if I drew a vertical line right here, I dashed it in orange. Do you see how coordinates are the same distance away? So this is 1 unit from that line, this is 1 unit from that line. It goes through the vertex down here at the bottom, and it can be written as x equals, in this case it's going to be 3, because it's on number 3 down here. Again, that's just some key terms that you guys need to know, and we'll talk about those as we go along. So, I've already graphed these problems for you. However, I want you to find the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So out to the side, to find the vertex in number 1, it's very important that you remember this. You have to use the formula negative b over 2a. So in this case, my b is negative 12. My a is 2. So if I do that, I should be able to get negative 12 over 2 times 2. And this is going to be x equals. So we're just talking about the x value. So whenever I solve it, I get x equals a positive 12 over 4, x equals 3. So your vertex, the x value is 3. To solve for the y value, you're going to take that 3 and plug it in for the x's in your equation and solve. So I have 2 times 3 squared plus negative 12 times 3 plus 20. When you do that, you are going to get 2 times 9, which is 18, minus 12 times 3, which is 36, and then plus 20. So you should get 3, 2. Now look at where our vertex is. Isn't it at 3, 2? So that makes sense. Yes, you have the answers. However, it will help you find the vertex. The next thing I want you guys to find is the axis of symmetry. Remember, the axis of symmetry needs to go through the vertex, and more specifically, the x value. So you can go ahead and write the equation as x equals 3. The positive ones are pretty easy to do. It's the negative ones that are a little bit harder. So I'm going to leave 2 and 3 for you guys to do by yourself. You can use this as an example. So number 4, when you're doing this one, to find my vertex, I still need to use negative b over 2a. In this case, my b is negative 2, and my a is negative 1. If there's a negative out front, that's going to be a negative 1. So I got 2 over 2, which is 2 over negative 2, which is negative 1. So that's my x value. Now to solve for my y, what I need to do is plug in negative 1 for the x's. So I'm going to take this equation and rewrite it. Negative 1 squared minus 2 times negative 1 plus 2. Make sure when you plug it in, you put it in parentheses, guys. This is the biggest error I see because negative 1 squared is 1. However, I have to multiply it by a negative on the outside, so that gives me negative 1. This turns into plus 2 plus 2. So I get negative 1 plus 4, which is 3. Now again, your axis of symmetry is based off the x value. What is your x value? In this case, it is negative 1. And you can double check it. I have negative 1, 3. My axis of symmetry should be this vertical line, and it works out. I'm going to do number 6 with you guys as well, and I want you to do number 5 by yourself. So number 6, what you have to do, same thing. X equals negative b over 2a to help me find the x value in the vertex. When I do that, I get negative 8 over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 8 over negative 2, which is 4. So now I'm going to plug that in for the x's. So negative 4 squared plus 8 times 4 minus 20. Again, you have to put in parentheses and do that first. Order of operations, you have to do exponents first. So 4 squared is 16 times the negative is negative 16. Just make sure you watch your signs. It's the biggest mistake I see, guys. And then whenever you do this, you get negative 4. So my y value is negative 4. So my vertex is a coordinate. Again, it should be the highest or lowest point. In this case, it's the highest. I get 4, negative 4. My axis of symmetry is based off the x value, so x equals 4, and it should be an equation. What I want you guys to do, I want you to do 2, 3, and 5, the vertex and axis of symmetry by yourself. On the next video, I will post the answers. And we can talk about a few key things. In the problems above, what I want you to notice is if the parabola will open up or down. So we're going to kind of skip this question and go down to here. If the A is positive, so examples of this would be 1 and 2 from above, then your parabola goes up. It's a smiley face. That's how I remember it. If your A is negative, questions 4 through 6, or 3 through 6, sorry, the parabola opens down. I call that a frowny face, just because it's negative. This one would be up. Alright, so in the next video I will post the answers. You guys can double check that. Again, try this by yourself. It should help you. You know how much time you need. If you have any questions, please email me. There will be a second video that you need to watch after this one, okay?